Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
I have conducted an organization level training and I want to share the same knowledge with you all. This video is related to the day 2 workshop.
Let's begin with the day 2 workshop then. Okay, so I'm starting for today's session 2 for day 2. So in today's session, we will be discussing on the Databricks file system. Then we will be discussing on the magic commands, how to use it, what all are the magic commands. And then we will discuss about the Databricks file system utility. In that, we will have some subtopics like your notebook utility, file system utility, and how you can go ahead and use your widgets. So these are the 4 pointers that we will be focusing on today. So what is a DBFS? It's basically a Databricks file system. So Databricks file system is a distributed file system which is actually mounted on the Databricks workspace itself. So if you are creating your Databricks workspace, by default, Databricks provides you this distributed file system called Databricks file system. And whatever files and folders that you will be creating inside this particular file system will be available in your entire Databricks cluster in your complete Databricks workspace. Let's say you have created 5 cluster in your Databricks workspace. In all the 5 cluster, your file systems that you will be creating inside the Databricks will be accessible. So basically, you can think that Databricks file system is an object storage on the top of the Databricks itself. So let's say you have your laptop or a computer, you organize your files and folders inside a specific folder, right? It's a similar architecture that the Databricks file system provides, where you can create your folders inside which you can create your subfolders, and inside that you can create your files. And in this Databricks file system, you have a root directory that it is provided, which is depicted by slash. Inside that root directory, you can create your folders. So Databricks file system are of two types basically. One is the Databricks itself, it provides, that is your root account. And the second way is if you have a cloud storage account like S3 or your blob storage, you can mount those cloud object storage into your Databricks. If you are having a root account, you can just simply go ahead and copy the path from the Databricks file system itself, and you can use it in order to create your data frame. So as I have mentioned here in the syntax, it's the same way you can go ahead and use your dbfs root directory inside which whatever files you have. But if you are mounting it, first of all, you have to mount your object storage from your cloud to your Databricks, and then you can use those mount location in your data frame. So the next is the DBFS root. In the DBFS root itself, there are 3 folders by default Databricks provides. The first folder is where you can go ahead and upload your data, or you can upload your library, which is called as file store. Anything that you have, your folders, your files, your libraries, you can upload it there. Then you have your Databricks data set. In your Databricks data set, Databricks provides some sample public data sets which you can go ahead and use, and you can basically play around it and do some transformations and write it back to your file store if you wish. The third is your Databricks result. Databricks result is whenever you are creating a data frame and you are displaying the result, or then it just goes ahead and truncates your data and gives you only a subset of data that is being displayed. So if you want to go ahead and get the whole data, if in case it's huge data, it's not shown. In that case, you have to regenerate and download the file in your local system. So whatever the regenerated file is there, that is downloaded inside your Databricks results as well. So from there you can query as well, or you can directly save it in your local hard drive. So these three are the Databricks file system that Databricks provides. Apart from that, if you want to create any folder, you can create those folders as well inside your root directory. Then comes with the magic commands. What are exactly magic commands is Databricks provides a number of languages. It supports Python, it supports SQL, Scala, and R. So if you want to use the same notebook in different languages, you can use this magic command, and just with the help of the person symbol and the language, let's say Python, if you want to create that notebook in Python, then you just mention Python and you can write everything in your Python programming language. Similarly, the next cell, if you want to write a SQL command, you can just put person SQL and you can write your SQL command in it. So these are basically magic commands. Then the second magic command that Databricks provide is your file system. Like you query anything in your file system, you get your data or you create your directory. So those you can do it with the help of the %fs. Now, if you want to create a heading, let's say on the right side you see your image as well, right? So Databricks, so in order to create a heading or you want to paste an image, you can use the %md command, and in that it also provides headings, subheadings that you can use. So this %md is called a markdown cell, where you can just create your text, but it's not an executable text. If you run the whole notebook, that particular cell in which you have written your markdown cell will not be executed, but the rest of the whole notebook will be executed with the help of the run all command. So let's concentrate now on the Databricks file system utility. So the Databricks file system utility, either you can use it as a SQL or you can use it in the Python with the help of dbutils.fs command. So if you use dbutils.fs command, what all commands you can use? It is similar to any file system commands. Like you want to copy a file or a directory from one location to another, you can use the cp. If you want to go ahead and read the data and display few bytes of data, then you can use the head command. If you want to list the content of the directory, then you can use the ls command. If you want to create your directory, if it does not exist, you can use mkdirs. Even if you want to create subfolders inside it, you just give the complete path of it. With the help of mkdirs, it will create your parent directory as well as your child directory inside it. Then you have your mv command. Mv command will move your file or a directory from one location to another location. While using mv command, you can also rename the file to a different file name. Then you have the put command, in which you can go ahead and write some strings into a particular file, which will be encoded in the UTF-8 format. If you want to remove a file or directory, you can use the rm command. So next is the dbutils.widget. So what are exactly widgets? It will help you to parameterize the notebook. So let's say you have a notebook and you are running the complete pipeline and you have some variables. You want to parameterize the values of those. Then you can go ahead and use your dbutils.widget command. I'll show you exactly how you can create the widgets and how you can get the value from the widgets and use them. So if you want to list all the available commands that the widgets provide, you can use this dbutils.widgets.help. So there are some types of widgets. some commonly used dbutils widgets are: you can create a drop down in which you can put multiple values and you can select from that drop down list, or you can simply go ahead and create a text widget in which you can write your own text. You can also create a combo box in which it will help you creating a drop down as well as you can write your own text. So it's a functionality that is combined both, that is drop down plus your text. You can also create a multi-select widget in which you can have multiple values and you can select it at a multiple times, and the values, when you are getting out fetching those values will be in a string format with comma separated values. Then comes is the remove. If you have created multiple widget and you want to remove a particular widget from the notebook, you can use the remove command. If you have, let's say, 5 widgets and you want to remove all the widgets, then you can use your remove all as well. So in the widget, basically I've discussed all the widget commands that we have. Next comes is the notebook utility. In the notebook utility, if you have, let's say, 2 notebooks and one is parent notebook, and inside that parent notebook, a child notebook needs to be executed. In that case, you can use the run command. You can provide the path of the child notebook, and you can also pass the timeout seconds with the arguments, and the child notebook will be called when the parent notebook is executed. So it's the same like your procedures. If you are calling a procedure, inside that you can call another procedure. In this, what will happen, the both the notebooks are separate, but inside your parent notebook you can call another child notebook and it will create a new session and it will execute that particular child notebook itself. And in the exit utility, if you want to exit that particular notebook with the value, it will return that particular value as soon as the notebook execution is completed, and that value is returned after the completion. So let's say you have a exit notebook utility in your child and you are returning a value in it, that return value will be passed to your parent notebook. So I have mentioned again some Databricks documentation, 4 links related to the Databricks file system and the Databricks utilities. You can go through them. I will go ahead and put that in the chat window as well. And there are some links for the YouTube as well, if you, in case you would like to view it in depth, what exactly these utilities does and what is a Databricks file system. You can go through it as well related to these reference links. So let's go ahead with the practical now. Okay, so let's first go ahead with the DBFS, that is our Databricks file system. So if you will see here on the top, the first slash is our root directory. Inside the root directory, we have this file store. Inside this file store, I have created my directory called Shilpa. Now, if you want to create a directory inside the root, that is this slash, you can create it similar to this abc.txt. You can create your folder directly inside it, and if you want to use this, you just click on this, copy the path. There are 2 formats that the Spark provides, this Databricks provides. One is the Spark API format and the second is the file API format. Let's say you want to use the Spark, then you can use this, and if you are using a file specific system, then you use your file API format. And inside this file store, you can create your folder, as I was saying. So if I click on this and copy path, it will just give me the folder path. And if I go ahead and click on the file that I have, I can copy the path, the complete file, and I can create a data frame out of this particular CSV file. Now, if in case you want to use your UI itself in order to move this or copy this or delete, you can do it, or you can use the programmatical method in order to copy or move these files. Okay, so and how you can basically upload a file into this Databricks file system is in this catalog explorer inside this dbfs. You have to go to upload, and you can select what location you want, that is your directory, and browse your file into it and hit done. Once you click on browse, it will give you the location as well where exactly it has saved your file. Okay, so this is
Shifa, I have a question. Export.csv there. How to download this file? If someone wants to download this file, how it download? Their option is not there.
Yes, so Databricks actually doesn't provide a download method here, but you need to do it programmatically again. It's you can use a URL. So I will tell you that as well. I will give you the link from where exactly you can download. So basically, what you need to do is you just copy this particular path, okay, this particular file name, and then you use this link in order to go ahead and download the file. I will give you the complete link, basically how you can download it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so now we have this Databricks file system. Now let's start with our file system utility. In the file system utility, let's first concentrate on the magic commands. So in the magic commands, as I was saying, this is a Python file. Either you can change the complete notebook with the Python to SQL or Scala, or you can also change your cell into a particular language. This is your Python. If you want, you can either select Scala or you can select your SQL. But if in case you want to use your file system, you have this %fs. And in the %fs, as I was mentioning, ls is your listing your directories, and you mention your file path where exactly this file path is there. Once the cluster is started, I'll show you, run this particular command and show you. If in case you want to don't want to use the magic command and you want to use your dbutils command, you can do that as well. With the help of this dbutils.fs, you just mention what command you want to use. That is, you're listing the directory, and this is our root directory basically. So you use your dbutils.fs.ls and the root directory. So let me first run this command as my cluster is on. Okay, it will take a second because it just got on. So I'll just move on to the next command here. If you will see the dbutils.fs.help. So in the file system, if you want to see what this particular command does, mkdirs, you just put the help command and you can run this. It will show you what is the functionality of the mkdirs exactly. Okay, so here, this listing of this directory, if you will see here, the path. What is the path of the file? What is the name of the file? That is, it shows you the name of the file is .csv. The path is also completing the name of the file. How much size it has taken in the Databricks, and what is the modification time? This modification time is in UTC, epoch time basically. So you can convert this to IST if you want. So this is the modification time for this particular file. Now let me run this dbutils.fs.ls. So in this, the root directory, it has shown up. So if you will see, there are multiple files into it. So it will first give you the path of the file again. It will show you the name of the file or the folder, whatever is it. If it's a folder, it will give you the size equal to 0. If it's a file, it will show you what is the size of the file, and again it will show you what is your modification time. So if I show you here it is the file store that we discussed that the Databricks provide. Along with it, it also provides one more Databricks set basically. I don't see it here. Yeah, here we go. This is the Databricks dataset that Databricks provide and the Databricks result. If you query this, then you will be able to find the all the data sets and you can query them basically. So let me run this command for the help. It will show you the mkdirs, in which basically it's giving you an example and telling you what exactly it does and how to use it. What are the parameters it actually accepts and what is the return type of it. So I will create a folder. This I have already created using this. So let me not create this. I'll create this file store Shilpa again. It will give me the result. That is true. Yes, it's either created before or it is created now if it does not exist. I'll create another folder called employee raw data inside the Shilpa folder itself. Now I have uploaded some file, that is employee1.csv, inside this particular file. If I've showed you before, I'll go to browse dbfs again. Yeah, so here you see the employee raw data is now created. It was not before, and these three files I've uploaded it before. So what I will do is I will copy this employee1 csv inside this employee raw data. Right now employee raw data is empty. So in this copy file, you have to put the file that you want to copy and in which location you want to copy. That is your destination. And if you will see, I've copied it, but I'm also renaming the file. That is copying this file and renaming the file to underscore raw. And I will rerun this particular command now. Let's go back to Catalog Explorer, and you see the employee1 csv has been copied to employee1 underscore raw.csv. Now I want to list what exactly is inside this. It will just show me the path of it, what is the name of the file, what is the size of the file, and what is the modification time. Now let's say I want to display the 60 bytes maximum to it. So it has truncated to first 60 bytes and it has shown me the result like this. So if you want to read this CSV file, you can use this particular file store API, or if you want, you can use the Dbfs Spark API method as well to read the CSV file with the help of the spark.read. And after this has read, if you will see, it will give you the result. It will not show you any column because I have not mentioned whether you need to read the headers or not. So if you will see, it has given me C0, C1 and C2. So if you are aware of the Spark, it will not create the header if you have not mentioned header equal to true, right? So therefore it has given me C0 and C1 and C2. Now let's move on to the next one, in which I have actually a CSV customer file, and I will be moving this customer file into my this particular location. Okay, so this is the same as the copy method. If you will just go back and you will see the employee raw data is having this customer raw CSV. So it's the same functionality as the copy method. Then comes with the put, where exactly I have to go ahead and give the path of the file where I want to save the string. So this is my text that I want to save it into my hello db.txt. So I have given the path of it and it will create a file if it does not exist, and it will write this particular text into hello db.txt, and it will give me a return type as true, and it will show you how many bytes it has written basically. So if I go back again and into my employee raw, you will see the hello db.txt has been created. Now, if you want to remove it, you want to remove just this particular file rm, you can use and mention the path of the file. If you want to go ahead and remove the complete directory, then you can just mention till employee raw data, and true means recursively it will delete all the files. If this particular folder has some files, it will delete those files as well along with your raw data. So I'll just delete this db.txt, and here we go. Let's refresh this again. You see the hello db.txt has been removed. Now, if you want to go ahead and remove the employee raw data completely, and recursive is true, the employee raw data will also be removed completely. Let me see if it has removed. So you see the employee raw data has been removed completely from the folder location. So it has removed all the files which were present along with the employee raw data. So now let's Mhm.
Shilpa, can you go to the first tab where fs command has used it? First one.
This one.
Yeah, this one. Here the download option is showing one row. Is it a
Yes.
real download option or
No, this will only download this particular Excel that you see here, the path, name,
oh,
size, and this. It will not download the CSV file.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go with the widget SQL. Okay, so I'll just move on to the widget SQL because we have a less time. Let's cover it, then I will take the questions at the end. Here I have created the widget. So basically, why we are creating is you to parameterize it. So I have just created a data frame first, and I'm creating a temp view out of it. So if I create a temp view, you can just go ahead and select star from that particular table. It will give you the result data set. Now let's say I want to create a widget with gender. Okay, so I can just go ahead and use this command called create widget, and then I want to create a drop down widget, let's say, with the widget name called gender. I will put some default value, let's say male, and then I will give some choices. The choices, either you can put the values directly, or you can select the distinct, or you can select any query. Let's say you can select your distinct gender from that particular table. So if you will run this particular command, then you will see a widget will be created on the top with the default value as male, and this is a drop down widget. So if you click on it, there are two distinct values in my sales, so it has given me two results. If it's multiple, it will give you multiple, and you can select it from there. Now if you want to go ahead and use this particular value from this widget, you can just use select, and inside your dollar curly braces you can mention your gender, and it will give you what is the result out of it. So the male is the value, so it will give you the value of it. So this is again the same example that I'm displaying. If you want to put it inside the where condition, then you can go ahead and put the parameterized form, and it will be using it. And in case you want to remove the widget which you no longer need it, then you can use the remove widget command. So now it's been removed. So let's see how we can do the same functionality in the Python. Okay. So in the Python, again, I will be creating this data frame. So first of all, I will be creating a combo box. So in combo box, either you can type it or you can select it from the drop down. So I will be creating the combo box with the help of the name year CB, which you can use it later in your code. And I'm putting a default value here, which is 2020, and I'm giving some choices here, that is 2020 or 2021, that you can select. So once you create this widget, you will see here year CB that you can use. Either you can cross it, right, and you can type it, or you can select it from here. Let's say this is the 2020. I want to select my 2021. I can select it from that drop down itself. Now let's go ahead and create a drop down with the help of the name called gender DD, and the label here is gender. I'm putting the default value again, which is male, and some choices inside it. So here I have my male and female. So I can toggle it between whatever I want to use it in my code. The next we have is our multi-select. So I will be creating a year multi-select, and in this I will be putting my default value, and it will have some values inside it which I can go ahead and select. So here again 2020 is there. Let's say I don't want 2020 and I want 2021. I can go ahead and select it. If I want both, I can select both of them as well. Let's create a text filter. It's simple. It will just create a text filter where you can go ahead and type anything inside it. By default, I have written it. Or let's say you want to create another value for it, you can create that value inside your text filter itself.
So Silva, is like this one question. One is the label, another one is the widget name, right? So
Correct.
when we want to fetch the value, then that time we have to use the widget name, right? Not the label.
Correct. So you need to use this gender DD, let's say, which is your basically your widget, right? And this is your label. You cannot use label, but you need to use gender DD, which is your widget name.
Name. Okay. So that is coming in like
Small letters here,
okay,
right?
small letters. Yeah. Okay.
So next that we have is the Databricks widgets. If in case you want to fetch the value from the widget, then we have this dbutils.widget.get, and you can get your widget name. So here again, this year CV, if you will see, this is the same. So I've given the get and this, and it will print you whatever value it is having. So it has right now 2021, so it has printed me the value. But let's say here the name I have given different, gender DD is my widget name, so I have to use widget name here in order to fetch my result. Similarly for this, again year MS, if you will have multi-select, it will fetch both of them, and it will be treated as a string data type, which will be comma separated values. Okay, so let's see how you can actually pass that widget in a Python code. So first of all, let me import some function column. Here I'm just, whatever data frame I have created on the top, I will be actually filtering out the data with the help of the year column, and year is in whatever year I have mentioned it inside my parameterized widget, that is 2020 and 2021. It will give me the result. Let me remove 2020, and let me keep only 2021. So whatever data is there for that particular year, it will just fetch me that particular result. So if you will see, only 2021 data has been fetched. So let's say I want to remove one particular widget only, that is my text filter, this one. So if you want to remove it, you just use dbutils.widgets.remove, and it's going to remove your text filter from it. And if in case there are multiple filters, you will not go ahead and sit and do one by one. It will be a tedious job to do that. So for that, you can use your dbutils.widgets.remove all function. So now if you will see, all your widgets have been removed. There's one more thing that I would like to show you is, instead of creating in this programmatical way, if someone is not familiar with this, they can go to the edit, they can go to the add widget as well and provide the parameter name. They can provide the widget name as well, and the type of it, and the default value. So if you click on this, it will create your widget with this particular value itself. So you can change the settings as well if in case it is required later on. So let me remove this particular widget. Okay, so the next thing that we have is our notebook utility. So in the notebook utility, basically there are two commands. One is the exit, another is the run. So I have created one child notebook. That is my notebook one. I'll just show you what it is. It's a very simple notebook that I created. Okay, let it open. It just have a print statement, and it will go ahead and show you what is the path of this particular file. So this is my print statement. It will print this and it will show me what is inside this particular file, what is the path of this file. So let me go back to my parent notebook. In the parent notebook, if I want to run that notebook one, I can either use a magic command here with the help of my %run, and I can mention the complete path of the file. So how will you get the path of the file is if you go back to the notebook one and you can see here file, you can go to this workspace and you will see three dots here. From here you can copy the full path. If you copy this full path and you go back to your notebook, I will paste this, it's the same path that it's going to copy. So this is how you can actually run this particular notebook with the help of the magic command, and it will go ahead and completely run in a new session, and it will give you the result back inside this particular interactive cell. And if in case you let's say this %run command only works in one cell, so if you have 5 notebooks that you want to run, then you need to create 5 different cells and use the magic command in 5 different cells to run those 5 notebooks. So in one cell you cannot have 5 different magic commands running the different notebooks. So for that you need to use the dbutils.notebook.run. Using the dbutils.notebook.run, you can mention the same path of your file. You can mention the timeout seconds. Let's say in 60 seconds you want to time out. If in case it is just running for 1 second, so you are putting 60 seconds so that it can time out within 60 seconds of it. And if in case that notebook is also taking some arguments, you can go ahead and pass those arguments inside this particular run functionality itself. So if you will see, I have run this notebook, it has created a separate workflow that you need to open up in this, and it will show you that what exactly has been executed. So it will go to your jobs portal and it will show you the complete result of it. It will not show you there itself, but it will show you inside your workflow and your runs whatever has been executed. So I'll just go back. Okay, so the next thing is your exit. Let's say you have your notebook and you want to exit it there. You don't want to go ahead and print the next statement inside that particular cell. You can use your dbutils.notebook.exit and return a value. So whenever the command completes, it will show you like this notebook exited, and whatever value that you want to return while exiting, you can put that value and it can be used. So this is very useful whenever you want to see if in case the notebook has been completely successful run is there. So this is one of the use case why notebook.exit is being used. Okay, so I have covered all the utilities starting from the FS utilities to the notebook utility along with widgets. You can use your widgets in your workflow level as well. I will show you when we will come across that scenario of creating the workflow, how you can go ahead and put your widgets inside the workflow and use them. But for now, this is the complete utility of the Databricks file system, and we have also seen how the basically Databricks file system works and all. And I will share the link how you can download the CSV file from the Dbfs directly as well. So I have completed the complete thing. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.